Hi, Bizzy here with another video diary. I thought I'd sit down and record something. I was sitting here by a window listening to some birds outside. There were also some squirrels rustling in a tree too. I'm not sure what bird that is. That's alright. I find that anytime I focus on nature stuff, even though that's something that's outside myself, it kind of is a way for me to connect even with my inner being, because no matter what's going on in my brain, what's going on in my life, when I take the time to focus on listening to the sounds of the birds or whatever other animals are outside, it kind of forces my brain to focus on the present moment. So it's a really easy way to snap back into the reality of now. It's hard sometimes when you have to be inside for the reasons we spend time inside these boxes that we build for all our, I guess, I don't want to get too philosophical here today, but it's funny how humans just build boxes, and we live inside boxes, and we work inside boxes, and we go out to restaurants that are boxes, we go shopping in buildings that are boxes. Like, everything is a box. And it's kind of funny when you're problem solving or brainstorming, the whole goal of that is to think outside the box. And no matter how much, society in general focuses on that kind of stuff, it's just funny how many boxes that we build, and we just get inside them and we stay inside them, and we don't always see what's going on outside. And I encourage anyone out there to open your windows and just sit and listen for 5 or 10 minutes sometime. I guess, in the cities there's going to be a lot more noise, so it's probably hard to get into the nature, but in the same sense, when you enjoy city living, you probably are used to the sounds. So even if you sit and you listen to the sounds of the city, even though it's honking and all the car traffic sounds, and even that could be interpreted as a form of music, or a city symphony, or just sounds in general that are being played out in real time with no particular orchestration. At least, I don't know. I don't know for certain on anything, because I like to say that we only know what we know, and we don't know what we don't know. So as you sit by a window and you listen to the sounds of what you hear outside of your box that you're in, take it in and try to, I guess, adopt it in your brain as music. And it sort of changes your perspective about things. I don't know, I could just sit and listen for hours. It's also a really good way when I do this to work through my day and all of the things that overstimulated me, that kind of play on repeat. When I sit and listen to the birds outside, that stuff and all that noise and the repetitive, like, memory recall slows down. I guess I should explain that with the way my brain works, I don't know if this is because of my history of trauma or if this is just how my brain's always worked. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I can get through a day with a ridiculous amount of stimulation, like being around people, being out and about, doing things, being focused on tasks, and I'll get through the day, and when I sit down, it sort of plays on repeat in my brain, but each time it's not as potent until there's usually one or two things sometimes that they sort of just ruminate. Well, I'm the one ruminating. So one of the ways I like to get that stuff to stop so that I can relax is to sit by the window and listen to the birds and the sounds outside. And it's one of the easiest things that anyone can do. It doesn't require anything other than to take the time and purposefully slow down, purposefully stop what you're doing, look outside, listen to what's going on out there, try to reinterpret it in a way that it's not necessarily obvious what it is. If this is really hard to explain. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm overthinking this, which I also do. I overthink it. Everything. I overthink everything. So there really isn't, other than to sit and be present with the sounds outside. That's pretty much the point I guess I was trying to make as I sit here and explain it. Anyway, this is how I'm going to be vulnerable today and hold myself accountable at sharing my personality in a safe space. My box. I will say that I spent a lot of time outside a couple years ago when I was first starting my YouTube channel. I was camping and bouncing around from campground to campground, and as scary as that experience was, with all the things simultaneously occurring in my life, that forced me to be in survival mode for a prolonged period of time. Some of that it's still there. There's definitely some residual there. But when I was out and about, and I was always outside, and I didn't even sleep inside because I was sleeping in a tent or the car. I can't really explain that. How do I explain this? It was a surreal experience for me, and I believe, I haven't watched those videos in a long time, but I do believe in one of them I said something about how we as humans sit in the boxes and we get trapped in these boxes, and why are we living in them? I was so free then, and I will tell you that if I could find a way to minimize and like really let go, I would love to be able to, I don't know, feel so free and unburdened, even despite the fact that I didn't have a home. I had the earth. I had Mother Earth and the trees and sounds like 24 hours a day. I slept on the ground, well, on a sleeping bag in the tent on the ground. And I was grateful every single day that I woke up, and I was grateful every single day when I went to sleep and that I had shelter. And the whole experience for me was life-changing, just life-changing. And I wouldn't take it back for a second, regardless of the circumstances and why those things occurred, which I'm still trying to work out, because I do believe there's some underlying stuff going on, or was going on, unbeknownst to me. So we're still on the hunt for answers there. But I have faith that all will be revealed in due time, as always, at least in my life, because the more I remain and follow my path and stay in alignment and stay true to what I'm creating here, what I'm trying to express to the world, is all in an effort to create a safe space for others to also share and create and live their lives with joy, laughter, peace, and harmony. And regardless of all the difficult things that do happen in our lives that are going to be there are difficult things that will be there, and it will be all right when you can maintain the mindset that every single moment matters. You matter, and it will be all right. And the world isn't as it seems in reality. If you were to go somewhere for any length of period of time, it could be a weekend, it could be a week, it could be a few weeks, and spend time outside of the box and spend time in nature. And you can even go as far to go somewhere really far away, a cabin in the woods or something like that. And if you go do that and you get away from the noise of everything for however long you think that you might need, that's a great way to reset. It's a great way to figure out what's most important for you. So, because the birds and the trees and the other animals and stuff, they're there 24 hours a day, and when you're out in nature, you don't have to be in a box, you know, except for maybe when you're sleeping, and if you choose a cabin, or even a hotel, I guess, if you want to go to like the beach. The point is when you go and do something, don't go out to eat every night. Don't go socialize. Go do something by yourself. Reflect. We all need time to reflect, because we have things coming inundating us every day, over and over and over and over. It's all this stuff. So much stuff. And it could be good stuff, and it can be bad stuff, and it can be happy stuff, and it can be, sad stuff. Whatever the stuff is. It's a lot. And as humans, we weren't really designed to go at that pace. And with the way technology has increased at such a vast rate, like, we as humans, we didn't evolve that quickly for all that. And regardless, we are meant to live more leisurely lives. Just saying. I'll save my talk about how I feel about the structures of our society for another video. Because today, we're going to stay focused on those wonderful sounds outside that sound like music. I trained my brain to pretty much like hear sounds like music. It's just easier that way. For me personally. Then things don't feel as obtrusive when I hear them. It's not as abrasive. Like the energy, I guess the energy of the noise doesn't affect me as much when I purposefully receive it as if it were music in the background playing. I sort of kind of figured something out about myself there just now. Cool. So, anyway, thank you for joining me here today. If you made it this far in the video, I encourage you to listen to the birds and go spend some time in nature alone for a little bit. It will help you. It will help you do a reset and get back on track, back on your path. And one last thing, I also, as I spend so much time in nature and I love taking pictures. I encourage anyone out there to take the pictures of your nature adventures, and that way when you are at home at some other point in time, like later, you can go back to those pictures and feel your feelings from when you were wherever you were, and that also helps bring a calm or a peace to the moment if you're ever in any kind of stressful situation or environment. My favorite is to picture myself meditating on a beach, which I've done in person many times. So I will click my brain into that thought and collection of memories, and it's like, and a couple deep breaths, and within less than a minute, like, I'll calm down if I'm ever triggered. So I'm gonna try and do that one more often. I do love the water. Anyway, hope everyone out there has a great day, or evening, or morning, or whatever time it is. And until next time, I decide to be vulnerable and share. Be love, be light, believe.